So here we are with Lucas Araujo. Oh, I've butchered it already. Here we are with Lucas Araujo. Oh, I can't do it. Araujo. Okay. So
Yes.
here we are with Lucas Araujo. Botaji, my
Yes.
guy. How we doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. How are you? Okay?
Yeah, not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. So, what you been doing, my friend? How's training going? Are you staying busy still? What's going on?
Yeah. After my last fight, as I mentioned in my Instagram, I hurt me knee before this fight, like 15 days ago. And now I'm trying to treat it good. I'm trying to recover it, then go back to the training. But I'm still doing my classes as I have a few students, so I'm still teaching and treating my knee.
So what
Very
happened to
bad
your
for
knee
it.
in the first place then? Was it like a sparring injury? Was it just an ongoing injury? How did that happen?
It was inspiring as like when Chris Thompson called me and 4 weeks notice before me and Tyne we went straight to London to start the company with Roger Grayson, the Roger Grayson Academy. And there's a tough guys. It's like 8 to 10 black belts on the mats. And I ended up hurt my knee and the one of the sparring. But yeah, that's happened when you're training hard and when you put all your efforts. And it wasn't inspiring. But I think it's not a big deal. But I need to treat well to be ready for the next one.
Well, definitely. And when it comes to that kind of style, because again, Tyrese is very explosive, very young, very athletic. How do you train for
Yeah.
that? Are you trying to get a style to shut that down? Are you trying to get your own style? How do you sort of prepare for that?
Yeah. I've seen his fighting before, and we know he likes a lot of heel hooks and like 50 guard, and that's the new Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's the new generation they're all doing. In my situation, I like more old school because I've been training in the old school gyms all of my life. Uh, Yeah, but the thing is, I'm training so much fits and heel hooks, and because that's not my game, to be honest. My game it's old school. Like I said, like basic things is triangles, armbars,
Old man
and all
jiu-jitsu.
of that. Yes, the old one. But yeah, I've trained all of things. I'm trained all of things. Yeah,
I mean, this
it's
is
a
always
good guys
go
over
on.
there anyway. In Roger Grace, there is a good guys. There is a new generation, and they all helping me. They all helping me to get well for this fight.
Have you always trained at Roger Gracie Academy? Is it somewhere you've always been?
No. I've been all my life with Mario Sucata. Well, I started in Brazil with his students about 2009, 2010, 2009. And I met him because Mario Sucata is from my city in Brazil. So we started training together about 2012, 2013. And when he came back here in 2015, 16, he called me to help in his class in Liverpool. And I came to help him with the kids class and the training him. So yeah, since like 2016 to this year, I was with him. And so we end up have a different politics, and now he's doing his own gym, and I moved to London, and now he start with Roger Gracie now.
So how come you came over to London as well from Brazil? Like, so were you already in? Were you training with your coach from Brazil in Brazil, or were you training in London with him? I'm confused.
No, with Mario Sucata,
Mm.
I've just started training in Brazil with him, and because he got a big gym there, and then he closed the gym, and he moved here, and then he called me to help him, and then I follow him. But when so we passed all this time together. But now I'm moving to London. Now I'm moving to London like before this fight. a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So what was that transition like then, changing over to Hodja? Was it quite a scary change? Was it a nice thing? What was it like going over in the first place? Obviously being used to one person's style to a new person's.
Yeah, like there's just sometimes in your life you need like uh, how can I say, sometimes in your life you have
At crossroads.
some politics, like
Mm.
some things you want to follow, you have your dream, you have your things, and like I don't have any trouble with him, any trouble and like that. I always been grateful for what he did for me. Like he opened, he gave me opportunities to be here. Like what I know about my English and my teacher, it's all he teached to me. He gave me the brown belt and that. But at the moment, I'm thinking to fight more MMA and to be like to grow more in MMA, and his academy got more gi stuffs and more BJJ, and that's what we go to the different faults. But I have no trouble with him. As always, be grateful for what he did for me, and we still talk and we still like friends, but only about the gyms. We had a different politics, and I went to the Roger Grace, which he's open his gym, and he accepted me very well. By Tyan introduced me to him and to all people in London, and yeah, we trained together there. So yeah, that's the resume of the history.
Well, that's good that you guys are still on good terms with that kind of change, because it's very important to have your own journey with everything. And it's good that your coach can respect that you need to have a different change of environment and stuff. So with your MMA training, do you use training the gi a lot still, or are you purely MMA training normally?
Yeah, I'm trying to train both. I'm trying to train like as I like so much MMA, and I train everything like separate things, boxing and gi and no gi. But I still want to achieve some titles in gi and no gi. So obviously I'm still fighting MMA, but besides that I want to get some titles in gi and no gi. So I'm still training gi, I'm still training no gi, and I still want to compete a lot of tournaments of gi and no gi to achieve what I want in brown belt, and then go for the next step.
So when it comes to your journey then in martial arts and everything, where did these goals come from? Did you want to do martial arts to compete in medal? Was it something you did for fun and you just started competing as well? Like, because again, people do martial arts for all kinds of reasons. Why did you start? Why
Yeah,
did you start?
yeah. I started in judo. I was 5 years old. My uncle is teacher, so my uncle is teacher a long time. So he started to teach me when I was 5, 6, and I always been fighting judo, like 6, 7, 8, 9, and then when I got like 13, 12, I stopped judo. 16, I changed for BJJ. So I don't have the thought like thinking like when I want to this because I'm growing doing this. So I'm not sure. Just all my life, that's what I've been doing all of my life. I tried to. I went to the university and then I did the finish. I go back to teach it and training, and yeah, I compete a lot of judo tournaments, and I compete a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments in Brazil as well. And some part of my life I stopped it. I go back. I stop. I go back. But a few years ago, I'm straight to go to try to achieve my dreams. Yeah.
Well, it's good to have that kind of, I don't know, a different level of understanding and appreciation. Because when it comes to some people, they say, oh, I want to train to become a champion. And then when I stop competing, I stop training. Whereas if you start for fun and start because you wanted to, competition is like a bonus. It's just like the icing on your cake. It's just like, it's just extra bit of fun. So how do you find competition then from your normal training? Do you like it? Do you get quite scared? Are you quite excited? How do you feel when you have a fight coming up like your last one? Like, how did you feel when that got booked?
I like so much. I don't feel like anything special because I got used to compete every weekend when I was kid. My uncle just put me inside the, even if I'm not training a week, but he got told me, look, Saturday we gotta compete, and next company say, whoa, I didn't know that. I said, your name is already there, so just go. So I got used to fight every weekend when I was kid, and that's what I like to do. Like it's not for the medal, it's not for the thing, but that's for the feeling you got when you go there, when you like you get ready to fight. Is another thing. Like if you fight, you know the feeling when before and after you fight. So like before get the medal or get any title or anything like that, I like the feeling. I like that feeling to be there.
I mean, this is always different for everyone how they feel, but normally it's, really scared beforehand and then they do it. They're like, I don't want to do this
Yeah,
again. And you're like, okay, I'll win. Yeah, let's do it again
yeah.
straight away.
Always have, like, if you don't have a feel like or anything like that, it's not important for you. You know what I mean? When this matter for you, you have I feel fear. So you have to control this because it's good, but when it's overcome, it's a bad thing. So you need to get a balance. Always get a balance of everything.
How do you control fear? Do you tell yourself certain things? Do you just try to ignore it? How do you deal with that kind of fear and nerves?
Yeah. I've got a good guy who helped me at the moment. We got a kind of partnership. He's a Brazilian sports hypnotherapist. He only work with athletes for sports high level. So uh, I get so nervous. Always when I was kid, I got so nervous and anxious before my fights, and sometimes that's get in trouble when I didn't know how to control. But this guy, he called Matheus Louro. You can check on Instagram. That's Matheus Louro. He's a Brazilian guy. He's very good, and he helped me to control this. And he made a very very good work with me before this fight because I was hurt my knee. I could even bend my knee, so I was thinking to give up this fight. But yeah, he helped me a lot, like how to control my nerves, how to control my fear, how to breathe, and even for my injuries, he helped me a lot to like had forget about this for a moment and put the focus and the right mind and to go. So I think it's very good as you work your body. It's very good you work your mind as well. As it's the same. It's quite same. You need to work both. So yeah, he helped me a lot to control this. Before I was like, oh, you go fight. You have sometimes you gotta over control it, and but since I've been with him, my mind's changed a lot. It's changed a lot, yeah.
So is that just for competition or is that like normal training as well? Like say if you've got a preparation for a fight, do you get that same
Yeah.
kind of nerves when you're building up? Is that something you have to work on or is that different? Do you just have training separate, like mindset wise?
Yeah, you always have to be training for anything because you never perfectly in anything. You know what I mean? Like before the competition, obviously we're doing more work. So if I'm injured, so he's gonna work on the injuries. If I'm like nervous with something, like if like high competition or low competition, so we go as the competition go. But yeah, we always have to do something like every month, every week, some exercise, some always try to build up the mind and go more strong mind. Yeah.
So what kind of stuff do you do to build up your mind with that? Do you have to remember certain things? Does he tell you to think, okay, when you're feeling stressed, feeling really busy, do you try and get told to just breathe? Is it exercises? How do you manage it as such? If you see what I mean?
Depends how anxious you are, or how, if you got a fear. He talk a lot. Like what he does is he try to change the way you see the fight, or the way you see in your life, or the way you see in the athlete life. So he talk a lot about this. He got more very good informations for you try to think and see another way. And he does hypnotherapists as well. He do like now at the moment we do it by Zoom, camera face, which is he asked him to close the eyes and to start to thinking like visualization of the fight. You win the fight, or you got a very good positions. So there's a kind of exercise he asked him to do it every day, like read, like write the things you want to do. And yeah, there's a kind of exercise he asked you to do. It's a very, very, very good, very good.
When you end up losing matches and competitions and stuff, how do you then feel with that kind of stuff? Because again, you do so much based off, okay, I visualize I win, I visualize success, I visualize all this stuff. And then when something doesn't work out, how would you then recover from that? Is there a separate process for that? Or is it something you just have to try and understand separately?
No, yeah, we need to understand. Uh, this game, you that's part of the game. You're losing as well, so you need to get like uh, a right mind to deal with. This part, I'm not like I don't get too much trouble because as I'm fighting since I was a kid, so I understand how it works. I don't get frustrated or anything like that. Obviously, you don't like it. This so bad tasted the be defeated, but I try to relax and try to think of the next one because the past this already passed. So I try to look to my mistakes, which where was my mistake, and always try to improve for the next one, because always there is always a point where you made a mistake, so you need to find the point. So if you find the point, so you work and die and be ready for next. That's how I say by the by by losing in fight.
I mean, this is always quite interesting. This whole balance of an athlete mindset of thinking I'm going to be the best in the world to I'm a student, I'm still
Yeah,
learning, and this kind of back and forth of trying to be humble but trying to be confident and trying to be calm but trying to
yeah,
be angry and excited. This whole sort of or everywhere.
yeah,
And
yeah.
when it comes to your training and sort of learning, how do you find switching from being competitive and trying to win every match in the gym to trying to learn and try something different and that kind of stuff? How do you find having that balance?
Yeah, again, it's a balance. Yeah, as you said, there is some train which you need to work in your techniques. So it doesn't matter if the guy, like I'm talking about trainings and to be in tournament. Like sometimes doesn't matter if the guy doing some points on you or submit you on the train, because sometimes you need to train what you need to train, and sometimes you're gonna end up getting mistakes. But it's a train, and sometimes you gotta be competitive. You gotta be like freaking in your fight. So don't lose any position. Try to don't do any mistakes. So you gotta be in balance. Like I do some trains I do now. Today I will only work in my armbars, let's say, and then I'm gonna try to do armbars and then from a bottom from. I never did any armbars from the other way, so I try to do. And obviously sometimes I will get a mistake and the guy gonna get like pass or anything like that. But as a training, and other times, like I just think so today, I won't give any chance for no one. So there's a training which I just go 100% competitive, and I try to let obviously no one do nothing to me, because that's a specific training. That's how I works before my fights.
And so with that
It's good.
then, so there's quite a lot in that. So saying about sort of, okay, this is the technique I'm going to try and get in today. I'm going to make sure when I spar, I try and get in these positions. But when you have, say,
Yeah,
a match coming up, say like Tyrese, for example, say like the leg locks and that
yeah,
kind of thing, do you try and put yourself in bad positions, or are you trying to attack? Are you trying to counter? What's your kind of preference in that then?
yeah,
So take that for an
yeah.
example.
I've been trying to put myself in bad position, and I try to put myself in the same position which he does very good. And if you watch the fight, I got stuck on his game.
Mm,
As I was hurt, I couldn't put me game on. That's all I does is mostly I defended too much. I'm seeing this fight as I didn't put my jiu-jitsu for everyone seeing, because I felt so stuck. I was good in my mind, but every time I tried to do anything to show my jiu-jitsu, my body tell me to stay. I think is my body is protecting me. So how can I how can I say? And if you see me, I defended very well all these attacks
mm.
and in his game, and I just couldn't put me game on, as I was a little bad. But I've been training so much this position, uh, defend the heel hooks and attacking the heel hooks, go for the leg, and like Roger Gracie being very very careful with that uh, inside, and telling the tips how to escape and how to put it on. And I train specifically to defend that and to put my game on. So I think my mistake was I got a bit stuck on his game.
And again,
That's
it's a
about
very
it.
tricky situation when it comes to leg locks, especially those sort of entanglements and controls. It's very hard to then attack separately. You sort of have to play the game to then do something. Otherwise,
Yeah,
like,
sorry, it's a bit it's a good sorry say again.
sorry, the signal was a bit shit. It seems to cutting out quite a lot, but I'm going to try and hopefully it sorts out. But yeah, with the leg lock game, it's very tricky when it comes to
Yeah,
them playing that, because you have to defend or attack in a leg lock way. You can't then start arm barring when you get your legs attacked. That doesn't quite work. So it's very hard to try and implement your style when something else is so, I don't know, opposite. It's different halves of the body. So when it comes to that, then it's very tricky to try and adapt that. So going forward, when you're fighting people with that same kind of style, would you want to try and beat them at what they do, or try and do what you do better?
you always have to think and put your game on, because if you think in his game all the time, you got you are like in your defense all the time, so you couldn't put your game on because you think too much about him. And that was one of my mistakes as well in the fight. I thought too much about his game, and he ended up in his game. I ended up on the 50 there for so long. And after halfway of the fight, my coach was saying, man, I start to thinking again. So I'm in his game, so I need to get out from here. I need to put my game on. And so you need to be careful, obviously, with what he have the best, but you cannot think too much about him. You need to put yourself inside. You need to put your game on, and I think that's how you win the fight. And go and do it. Just go and do it. Go and believe in attacking and made it. You know what I mean? That's how I think.
That is really interesting the way you were describing that, because again, when you're preparing very leg lock heavy for a leg lock guy, and then your style is normally a lot more top pressure, a lot more heavy, that your camp is then becoming a very arranged around defense of his style. If you could turn back the time to prepare differently, would you do the camp differently? Would you prepare purely on your style and really smash that in? Or would you do more of the same with leg lock stuff?
I would do the same, but obviously the foot attacks is not my best. Uh, my best is upper body game and the old school game, armbars, triangles, kimuras, passing. Uh, yeah, I like my camp. It was very nice. My camp was very nice. Obviously, if I didn't get hurt, my game was another one. I think is what got me lost this fight. It wasn't my preparation. It was about my injury. And yeah, I think I will do the same. I'll do the same. We train with very tough guys in the gym, and yeah, obviously it's not my game, and I got stuck in his game, but I'll do the same from now on. Like after I will try to improve my game, but yeah, I don't know. He can't catch me, so I think I'm not too bad because he's very good. He tried to like he put it so much heel hooks, and I escaped it all of it, and it's very tight and very good. Yeah, very nice fight.
Yeah, it's a really good match as well. Very back and forth, and that kind of control he's got. Because you take into account how actively Tyrese is competing and how many guys high-level guys he's submitting. The fact with injured knees you still survived and still, did well is a really good sort of sign that
Yeah,
your defense is up there.
I've seen,
Awesome.
yeah. I've seen him. He hooks all the time. Yeah, that's a new game. Like that's a new generation. I mean, do all these those.
It's a funny one. So with your training going forward then, are you going to keep on doing more of the same or are you going to keep trying new stuff? Because again, after the many years you've had training, you've built your style up after trying loads of different stuff. Do you find the need to keep trying new stuff or are you trying to really work on what you already do? Because I know you were saying in regards to preparations differently, but in your own style and trying new guards, trying new things, how do you find with that?
And another thing as well is because this hold is another hold, so it's a 10-minute fight. Only submissions, all the submissions allowed, and as heel hooks, foot locks, leg locks, it's like very dangerous and very quickly positions. So obviously you gotta be also how you get to improve this game because as I said, it's another host. This fight is a 10 minutes fight. It's only submissions and all the submissions are allowed. So the guys always looking for the quick and the more dangerous one to finish the fight quick as possible. And yeah, I gotta be improved again because everyone does the game. So if you don't do it, you're gonna end up being behind them. So always you have to build it because the jiu-jitsu is growing and going to this part. So you need to know as well this part. You need to know, even if you don't like it, the 50-50, as I don't like 50-50, you need to know even how to defend yourself. And yeah, that's all what I've been doing. I've been training this 50-50 a lot because I don't like, but I need to. I need to for the next fight. Yeah.
It is
So
very
obviously,
important. Sorry.
yeah. Obviously, I will still training my old one, but the new ones, let's go as well.
It is funny how it's like eating your vegetables. Like, I don't like it, but I have it. I need to have it. It's very much like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't
Like,
like because I don't think it's like beautiful jiu-jitsu. You just sat down and close the legs there for so long. My game is passing, is a new belly, is going for the arms, is attacking guillotines and that. But yeah, you need to know. You need to know.
definitely. Now, my friend, before we let you go, any sponsors you want to shout out? What's that shirt you're wearing?
Yeah. You see now wearing the upcoming fight wear. He's a good guy. He made the all my gear, clothes, gears, and all my stuffs, gloves, and all my stuffs. I would like to shout the House of Hake in London. They take care of my body, massage, sport massage, and everything. I would like to say Matheus Louro. He's a Brazilian guy. He does my mental training mental health. And Caio, he's a Brazilian guy. He's a psychologist. He does as well talk with me about the fights and try to improve my my mind. And then Tyan Porfirio is my girlfriend, so he's helping a lot as well. And Roger Gracie, he's been very nice and obey Jim and yeah, this art team behind me is always support me to keep carrying on in my fights. Yeah.
Fantastic. And where can people find you on social media? What is your Instagram?
Lucas Araujo. So it's a bit hard to say to pronunciation, but if you put Lucas Aiaujo, so you're gonna find me there. You're gonna see my all work, and yeah, I have a lot to show to everyone. I just start now, just appear now, but you see, I have a lot to show, definitely.
That'll be in the description.